What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Going to be bringing you my full review of the Kizer Kobold II. Not quite sure how to say that. Let me know in the comments. Let's get into it. All right, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be doing some size comparisons. We're going to be checking the weight and profile of this knife out, and then we'll go ahead and jump into the review. So let's kick it off with the size comparisons. Here it is against the Pony Stout and the Sencut Serene. So you can see already this is definitely more of your full-size knife. I'm digging that. I like this. This has got some really cool vibes to it. Here it is against the Para 3 Lightweight with the applied weapon tech scales. And we're going to go ahead and bring out the Drift from Quiet Carry. This is the Drift LC. Sorry, this has got the LC200N all over it to make it corrosive resistant. As you can see, it's definitely more in line with the size of the Quiet Carry Drift LC. So let's go ahead and move these two out of the way. Man, this thing has got some killer action right out of the box. I'm still breaking that one in. Here it is against the Benchmade Bug Out, another very recognizable knife. And we're going to go ahead and bring out the ProTech Mordax. As you can see, this is definitely closer in size to the Mordax, and a medium knife just looks medium next to it, in my opinion. All right, let's get that one out of here. Let's check profile out on this one, because this is a chunky boy. Let's see here. Here it is against the Mordax. Let's do this, because I feel like it wants to track my hands. Maybe it's better to do it like this. There you go. Yep. Bring the hands in there a little bit to help it focus on the knives. I think the thinness is what throws it off a little bit. So a little bit thicker than the Mordax, but the Drift has contoured scales. So this one's going to be a little bit closer, but you do see the Behold 2 is just a little bit thicker with those contoured scales. So I think that's good. I don't think we need to bring the Serene out here, but what we will do is grab the scales and let's check the weight on this one. All right, let's see. It feels like 4 ounces. Yeah, 4.1. So a nice weight for the size. They did a good job keeping the weight on this one down. That's nice to see. Let's go ahead and check out the knife. So we have very nice natural micarta on here. You have a little bit of step down, and it's very nicely knocked down around all of the edges here. I like the way that it feels in hand. I'm able to get all 4 fingers on here on the back, so I'm not hanging off. Maybe a little bit. I'm starting to, but I think that's just because it's designed round. And then you have this forward finger, I wouldn't call it a choil, but I think you have a landing here for the finger to come up to the front. Might help if I come in camera, I'm looking down at the knife as I'm doing this instead of the camera. But you have this forward finger landing spot here. And for me, I hang off the back of it just a little bit. So finger is kind of 3/4 of the way on there, but it feels comfortable. It feels comfortable, and I'm far enough away from the sharpened edge here for it to feel nice in hand. And the balance in this position definitely feels very nice. It feels very, very comfortable. Now, you do not have a reversible deep carry pocket clip, but it is fold over deep carry. It is not nested, so it lays flat on here. Goes in and out of the pocket nicely, doesn't catch anywhere. I will say this uncoated finish or the plain Jane finish, when they do that on these Kizers, it does look a little cheap. It works well, got good spring on it, goes in and out of the pocket well, doesn't create a hot spot or anything like that. But when you look at the finish of the blade, you got this really well done polished stone washed finish on it, and it looks really good. And then you just kind of have these like knocked down, dull finished hardware, which is okay. That's actually better than it being polished up, because I think that looks even worse. But I don't think they did that great of a job on the pocket clip. It looks a little off to me. Could be that it's just different steel, and maybe they didn't polish it enough before they stone washed it. I would probably just stone wash it a little bit more, wear it down a little bit more to make it match more of the hardware. Very minor thing. I wouldn't even worry about it, to be honest with you. Access to the lock bar is really good. They got it cut out nicely here. You can let it come all the way down to the finger, and then the action is phenomenal on here. So it works really well. I hit my ring finger when I was deploying it just now. You can disengage it laying on there just fine. A little hot, but it's not really bad at all. It's not even worth complaining about, in my opinion. And then from here, if you like to lift up, I think you can actually do that with either one of the fingers because it is located far enough back to do that. Just be mindful if you do the middle finger and you're bringing it up, that if you have your finger down, you might feel a little bit of the toothiness from the knife edge touching that first index finger. Now, I will say this is one complaint that I do have here. Access to the opening hole for the thumb for me with the larger hands, it's a little tough to get in there sometimes. So I would have liked to seen this knocked down just a little bit further back. I think just a little bit more would have given me a good angle to get in there. Right now I'm kind of slipping as it's opening and I'm kind of muscling it open. Also, the detent on here probably could be a little bit stronger than what it is. It does feel like it's giving way before I'm ready to flip it open. So I'd like to see that tuned up a little bit. Now, I say that with the caveat that this has been passed around and I do not know how many reviewers have seen it before me. So it may be that it started out life with a better detent than what it has right now. And it may just need a little bit of a tune up. Could be that the detent hole maybe needs to be cleaned out too. Cause I see there's, I got it like this where it had some smut on the blade here, so definitely been tested on some cardboard and paper, whatever else they may be using to do the cut test. Edge seems fine. I feel like Kizer does a solid job on their 154 cm. I did not notice any sort of hot spots or anything on that on the edge of the blade, so whatever they tested it on didn't really have much of an impact on the knife's performance itself. I know I can't really get the edge to show up like I did downstairs. There you go. You can see a little bit there. Nice edge, probably 22 degrees, 24 degrees from factory. And that's pretty normal. Nothing unusual there. Very smooth on the close. And what I really like about this one is even though that front flipper looks like it's really high and really far out there, it works really, really well. Very natural, very easy to use. I do not think I can get the reach around. It's actually a little bit too far out there. And when I do, I can't get back fast enough, so it ends up kind of hitting the knuckles. So I would say that one, your mileage may vary, but it's very fidgety. I like it a lot. I also like the fact that it has the integrated, trying to see if I can show you where it is, that integrated stop pin. I don't know if you're able to see it on camera or not. Let's see here. It's right here. I'm trying to see if I can get a good angle on it. No, I really can't. We talked about lockup. I don't know. Lockup's sitting about 30%, just in case I didn't mention it earlier. You definitely have milling on the inside here. So you can see you got a very big chunk mill. Oh, I have it on a bright setting. Hold on. There we go. You have here we go. Let's just do it this way. Bring it in, bring it out, bring it out. There you go. Big milling on here, unlike the Sparrow that I looked at not that long ago before this one. That one did not have, it just had the little drill holes in it. So the relief cut here on the inside, and I don't know if you can see it from there, but you do have milling relief over top of the lock bar on the lock bar side. And I forgot to mention lanyard hole back here with a matching G10 matching my micarta back spacer. Really nice to see that it's all matched up here. Overall, pretty cool little knife coming in at $80. You can get over to White Mountain Knives, use discount code JD for EDC, save yourself a little bit of money. I'll also link it to Amazon just in case White Mountain Knives is sold out. They're a little bit of a smaller retailer, so inventory there is kind of hit or miss sometimes. If it's a really popular model, it's going to be hard to get a hold of. For $80, 154 cm micarta steel liner lock, not a bad deal. Alternative recommendations, I would say, if you don't like the Serene, you can probably get the Conspirator for around the same price. The Saxy, if you don't like aluminum and you want micarta, if you don't like D2 and you want 9CR, it'll save you a little bit of money because those are both going to be coming out of under $50 and they're both dialed. I've handled both of them and they are phenomenal action, great build quality. They're just killing it over there with the button locks. If you're not into that, there's a couple other Civivis I could recommend, but I would say this is definitely a solid pickup if you like the design. Now, I did want to talk about one thing. This knife reminded me of something when I saw it. When I first saw it, I think it's the blade shape more than the handle, but I couldn't help but think it really kind of resembles the Voodoo a little bit. The Voodoo has a little bit of a unicorn swedge up here, but the clip point at the tip, I feel like this kind of reminded me of that. Not saying that they're the same. And the opening hole kind of in a similar, I mean, I don't know where else you're going to put it. They're in a similar spot with a very similar design. This doesn't have the hole, it's more of the fuller. And then you got the thinness going into the thickness here. So just some reminiscence of the Voodoo, not to say that it's copying it or one way or the other, just kind of reminded me a little bit of it. So I did want to mention that. Could be a more affordable option, I guess is what I'm saying. If you like the Voodoo but you can't afford it, but you wanted something to get you a little close to that type of design, this is going to be a great utility knife, great for breaking down boxes, daily EDC, and again, large handed up. You're going to really love the real estate that you have on this one and not a bad weight in the pocket. Let me know what you thought about this one down in the comments. Shout out to everyone out there that leaves the likes, comments, and is subscribed. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you have a fantastic week. And until next time, peace.